If your Maytag or Whirlpool oven is experiencing an F3 error code, it's most likely going to be because of a defective controller board. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to fix that. For this repair, we'll have to disassemble the unit. We'll start by removing the top cover. Next, the side frames. Now we can open up the circuit boards. We're going to want to pay specific attention to this connector here on the backside. And if we use our microscope to take a very close look, we'll see that some of the connector pins have cracked solder joints. So this one over here looks okay, but if we focus on these two and really zoom in, you'll notice there's a ring around the pin, and same over here, that goes all the way around the joint. If we look at the other two, this one on the left doesn't have a full fracture, but it is starting. And the second one on the right has a full fracture on the right side, and the left side over here actually still looks intact. So there isn't a full 360-degree crack, just only on about 180 degrees of the joint. Now, the reason we are looking at those joints specifically is because that connector is where we connect our thermal sensor. When the thermal sensor is not detected by the controller board, it will throw an F3 error code. In order for us to fix this, we will have to resolder the joints. So I'm adding my iron to the area. And actually, we're going to desolder first. We're going to remove all of the old solder. I'm using desolder wick here to soak up all the original solder. Now we're going to add some fresh solder to the joints. Give that a quick cleanup. And we'll do a quick inspection. And obviously these joints look a lot better. They're fresh joints. But it's also important to note that if that connector had severely cracked solder joints, it's very possible and likely that other joints somewhere else on the board are on the verge of failure as well. So we always want to do a full inspection of the circuit board and not only fix the immediate issue. So we have a few of these connector spade pins on the circuit board. We're going to want to inspect those on the back. And sure enough, look at that. This one over here is starting to get severely cracked, and if not addressed, will cause an issue down the line. And that one looks to be our ground spade pin. Let's look at the neutral and our power. This second one over here is the neutral, and that one, it looks okay over here. This one looks like it's starting to have some stress, so we'll want to touch that up. And then our power actually looks perfect. So that one's fine. Let's look down the line for the baking elements and broil elements. And those look okay. They probably don't need touching up, but we'll still touch them up anyways. Next, I want to look at my transformer joints, which is this row over here. Same thing, we're going to zoom in a little bit more. This first one, we'll notice, doesn't have a trace, so it's a no connect. These have the green traces going to them, so we'll check these, and this one looks okay. This one looks okay. Also looks okay. Yeah, these look to be in okay condition. This one's a no connect, this last one, but it does look like it's starting to have a little bit of a crack here. But because it's a no connect, we don't have to worry about it. Let's look at the other side. This one is starting to show some signs of stress, so we'll want to touch it up. That's a no connect. Some signs of stress. Little bit of signs of stress. And also no connect, but also a little bit of signs of stress. Okay, so what that tells me is that we are going to want to touch up all of the joints for the transformer and our spade pins. Same thing, we'll go ahead and desolder a little bit first. And for the other joints, because there are no cracks, we're just going to add some fresh solder. When we start to see heavy cracking on the joints, we can get some slight arcing, some impurities. When there is no crack, usually there are no impurities, so we can just add a fresh coat, reflow the whole joint, and that should be good enough for many more years. We'll touch up the transformer next. And I did just reflow also the no connects, which We obviously don't need to since they don't connect to anything, but it's just a habit. Now one last part we're going to reflow as well is the relay, which are these joints over here. And actually this one looks like it could have the beginning of a crack just on the top. Oh yeah, look at that. Good thing we're reflowing it. So right here we have separation. So for context, that joint right here is below these spade pins we reflowed earlier, which are the broil and L1B, and that's going to be the pins for this Omron relay right here. So if we had not reflowed that relay, it is very likely that this oven controller board would have been suffering from the oven or broiling element not heating up in the near future. And the last thing we want to do is replace the 4 electrolytic capacitors over here. The reason we want to do that is because over time, when they get very aged and heat stressed, they will start leaking the electrolytic fluid, which then can corrode and damage the board. So you can consider this part of the repair much more of a preventative repair than it is an actual active repair of a fault. So our first capacitor is right over here. We're desoldering the legs. Our second capacitor is right next to it over here. And if I try to wiggle the capacitor, that one's loose. And the second one is not loose. And I can actually see why. There's still some solder below, there we go, the leg on both sides. We can get it from the side here. Okay, let's try to wiggle it. And yep, there we go. Now it's loose. This first one we're going to remove at location ID C9 is a 100 microfarad, 50 volts. And that's what our replacement is. We have that black bar at the top of the screen, which indicates the negative side of the capacitor. We'll solder that one in first. And the one next to it, 470 microfarad, 16 volts. And of course, that's what our replacement is also rated for. Same orientation. This one over here is our next capacitor. And if I try to wiggle it, yep. This one's also 470 microfarad, 16 volts. And finally, the big one. Oh, there we go. And this one is a 3300 microfarad, 16 volts. All right, we are plugged back in. And if we try to set our oven, we no longer get the F3 error code. If you have a defective oven controller board that you would like to send in for us to fix, we do offer flat rate services which come with a 1-year warranty. Those are available on our website, which I will link in the description below. If you found the video helpful or useful, leave us a like, subscribe for more content, and thank you for watching.